everyone, this is Selena and welcome to another card making video. In this video, I'm featuring the my monthly hero kit from Hero Arts, and this video first appeared on the Hero Arts YouTube channel back in May. Hi everyone, this is Selena Kraus and welcome to another Hero Arts card video. For today's card, I'm using the new May 2022 My Monthly Hero kit. So let's get started. The kit comes with a cover fancy die, along with 6 additional fancy dies. Comes with a 4x6 sentiment stamp set and a background cling stamp. So let's get started. I will start by die cutting that cover plate 3 times using Deluxe Smooth White cardstock. So I'll position that, center it onto the A2 panel and die cut it 3 times. By magic of YouTube, I have everything die cut here. Just remove all the extra parts from the middle. Also the doors, the handles for the drawers, they come out. So I put those aside and I'm coloring them with silver gel pen, and then we'll put them back into the drawers. Okay, once I have all those colored, I'll put those aside to dry because I don't want to smear that silver gel pen, and I will move on to coloring, adding details to the kitchen. So I'm using here post-it tape. You can use anything that you have handy to mask to make sure that you don't go over the lines, so you have nice and kind of more straight lines when you're coloring. I'm adding silver details to the oven and the stove, and I'm using my heat tool to dry that silver gel pen so I don't accidentally smear it. So there you saw me, I chopped off the fruit ball that's part of the cover die. I didn't want to use it, so I just cut it off, making sure that I have a straight line. Now I'm using the same method to add color to the shelves. I'm using post-it tape. You can use either washi tape, you can use printer paper, masking tape, or just plain cardstock. I'm using this to make sure that I have straight line there on the edge, so we have that nice white outline around the entire kitchen. So I'm adding tape on back of those drawers. Now that the handles are dry, I'm adding those in place. So that tape will make sure that those stay in place. I'm moving on to the coloring the flower. I'm using combination of alcohol markers and pencils. The pencils will give me more defined lines. So you can use any coloring medium of your choice. I would just recommend, if you decide to go with watercolors, to use a watercolor paper to die cut the cover die. Now I decided for the base of the kitchen to be white, so it's not like very white. I wanted to have some shadows, so I'm adding some very pale warm gray colors around the drawers and around the stove. This will make that kitchen pop up a little bit. I'm just adding color onto the legs of the stove. Now I'm using a ruler to draw the lines for the counters. We'll color the counters towards the end, and we'll use a little bit darker grays. Now I'm coloring the toaster oven. Well, not the oven, toaster oven, it's just the toaster. I'm using combination of purples, and I will also add accents using that silver gel pen. And you can color your kitchen any way you want. Once you die cut that from white cardstock, you can just customize your kitchen any way you want. For the coffee maker, this is a manual coffee maker. I'm using combination of cool grays and silver gel pen. I'm now coloring the jar with sugar. I assume this is a jar with sugar. It can be whatever you want to be. And again, I will add details with the silver gel pen. And I'm adding a little bit details with pencil. I'm gonna color the jar and the bottle there. So I color it with blues and silver for the lid. For the bottle, I decided to be a bottle of wine, so I drew a line to where the wine would be. And then the rest of the bottle, I'm coloring with very, very pale blue. I'm just checking how it looks against that mist background, and I think that looks pretty good. Moving on to coloring the vase. I'm using again blue and a little bit darker than the jar we just colored. And I'm adding details using colored pencil. Also, I'm adding details with the purple colored pencil to the sugar jar and the toaster. I'm gonna color the black pepper grinder. And I decided to be wooden, so I'm coloring with browns. And adding details using dark brown pencil and also silver gel pen. Let's color the vent. I think this is called aspirator. I apologize if I'm not saying the correct name. So I made a little mistake there. I went over the line, so I used white gel pen to correct that. Now let's color the last two elements. I drew a line with a pencil between those two jars and then colored with gray. Now I'm adding color to the counters, and that will finish coloring. With this, we'll finish coloring our kitchen. Also, I'm adding little details using pencil. So let's stamp that background onto our mist panel. I'm using clear embossing and watermark ink. I'll stamp it a few times to make sure that I have nice impression. And I will be using the white satin embossing powder to emboss that background. The satin embossing powder takes the color of the background paper that you're using and turns it into a little bit of metallic or shimmery look. So I wanted those lines, like the break lines, to be lighter. So I'm ink blending pull and soft pull ink. And you can see how those embossed lines are standing out and look lighter. I'm using towel to wipe off the excess ink from the top of the embossing. So now let's assemble our card. I cut off those fruit balls from the other two panels that we die cut at the beginning, and I will just stack those up to add a little bit more sturdiness to that cover panel. We have very thin lines around the edges on the top, so this will give a little bit more dimension and sturdiness. Making sure that all it's nice and straight. And once we have done that, we'll adhere it to that background panel. I forgot to add adhesive under the pepper shaker, so I just added a drop. I'm adding little yellow enamel dot in the front of this, in the center of the flower. So to finish off the card, we just need a sentiment. I'm using one of the sentiments from the 4x6 stamp set, and I'm stamping it onto pitch black cardstock using the same clear watermark embossing and watermark ink, and I will use detailed white embossing powder to emboss it. Okay, now we need to cut that out. You can use directly your paper trimmer. I'm using die strips from the XL sentiment strips, stamp and die the message strips. So I cut that sentiment and plus two additional ones that are not stamped, just for purpose of stacking and adding dimension. You can do this method, or you can use some foam tape. Add that to the middle of the kitchen. So I added that in the middle of the kitchen, and then to finish off the card, I'm adding adhering that with adhesive on the back, and I'm adhering it to folding A2. Here is the finished card. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you're kept up to date with all the videos that I publish here. And also please visit my blog for more ideas and more inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye!